This camera is going where no cameras have gone before. Into the washing machine. There's a reason why I'm putting this camera through hell and high water. Because this episode is all about laundry detergent. Choices for laundry detergents are endless. Powders, liquids, capsules, even paper-thin sheets like these. Several viewers have asked Talking Point to investigate the effectiveness of different types of laundry detergents. So in this episode, I'm going to find out which type of laundry detergent works best: powder, liquid, capsule, or sheet. And are we doing our laundry right? My producer is finding out what sort of detergents Singaporeans go for.
You normally use liquid and capsules for your laundry detergent. What makes them better?
Well, liquid detergent, because I think that's been a mainstay in all, I think, our household needs. But the new entry of pods have been quite good because it's very convenient. You just have to throw one in and you don't have to think so much about it.
Safer on the hands, not powder one. Powder one quite harsh.
It's simple to use.
I guess it's a habit, and then I've been using it for so long.
My small sample of Singaporeans have shown a strong preference for liquid detergent. But while liquid detergent is the most popular, does it work best? I find out from a cleaning expert who has tried it all. What are the key differences between the four types of detergent? Powder, liquid, capsule, and then the latest on the market, sheet detergent.
Powder detergent generally is the cheapest of the lot. For the cons, it generally leaves behind a residue when it doesn't dissolve fully. It also has to be stored in a dry environment, and this is made very much difficult in Singapore's hot and humid environment.
When the powder is not stored properly, the humidity can cause the powder to become wet, thereby losing its efficacy even before it's used to wash our clothes.
For liquid detergent, the pros are it dissolves completely, unlike the powder detergents.
What about the capsules? These work when you throw them into the washing machine.
Yes, it generally is the easiest to use of the lot. Just throw it in the washing machine, start the rinse cycle, and you're good to go. But for the cons, it's a predetermined dosage. So what happens is you're not able to scale up or scale down your load. You have to use according to what the manufacturer has already decided. So meaning you're not able to say, like, if I have half a load, I'm not able to use half a capsule. But if you have half a load, you can use half a cup for liquid.
Let's move on to the sheet detergent. I've never seen these before.
So sheet detergent is actually another form factor for powdered detergents. So you just toss it in the washing machine, start the rinse cycle, and you're good to go.
The million-dollar question really when it comes to detergent is which of these forms actually work better, are more effective in cleaning my clothes?
To quantify what's effective in cleaning your clothes, we have to see both effectiveness in cleaning dirt as well as stains. You know what? Let's test it out.
Wei Tian has soiled some t-shirts with 6 different stains: coffee, curry, red wine, lipstick, ink, and mud. Each t-shirt will be washed using a liquid detergent, powder detergent, capsules, and sheets to see which is most effective in removing dirt and stains. Which is the best performing?
So from this experiment, we see that sheet was actually the best. So we can see that the dirt has almost been completely gone.
Okay.
And then for the curry stain and for the rest of the stain, it has lightened compared to the others.
So based on our results, can I then conclude that sheet detergent is actually more effective?
So based on this, no, you can't, because these three are from the same brand. This is from a separate brand. So what we can conclude is that for the sheet detergent, the active ingredients used are a lot more effective in removing curry as well as dirt. The form factor of the detergent is not the one that determines whether the stain is good at removing it, but it's actually the active ingredients, the chemicals inside the detergent that determines whether it's good at removing the stains.
So, what is the active ingredient in these sheets that made it most effective? I checked the box, but unlike food products, there is no ingredient list. I'm headed to an expert to break down what to look out for. Professor Mary Chan works with all kinds of bacteria, some untreatable by conventional antibiotics. And among her research interests, the study of detergents.
The common active ingredients are the surfactants and the enzymes. The surfactant has two parts. One part of it will stick to the dirt to bind with the dirt. The other part of it lights the water. So in that way, it will bring the dirt from the clothes to the water. The second active ingredients are the enzymes. So enzymes are used to break down the large molecules like proteins, starch, and also fat.
So, do all laundry detergents have the same type and amounts of active ingredients?
I think definitely not. All laundry detergent must contain surfactant. But the cheaper one, they may have a lower concentration of enzymes because enzymes are expensive.
There are laundry detergent with many different claims, like antibacterial, which is very popular. How do these work?
Detergent usually are in the basic pH, like usually a pH of maybe 7 to 10. Neutral water is 7. Usually the antibacterial detergent, the manufacturer add acid, like a citric acid. When the laundry detergent is acidic, actually it can have some killing effect on the bacteria.
For laundry detergents that say that they can make my whites whiter, how do these work?
In general, they use the optical brightener. You deposit a chemical onto your clothes, and the chemical basically absorbs the light in the range that you cannot see. So over here, there are two bottles of liquid. The one on my left has an optical brightener. The one on my right is just water.
So this one has brightener, that one is just water.
That's right.
Okay.
So if you shine light on the right side, you see just water. If you shine light on my left, then you see that it's becoming colored. And so the optical brightener has enhanced the color of the liquid.
And that's only happening because the light rays are entering my eyes that way.
That's right. So it's happening because it takes the light from one wavelength and convert it to a visible wavelength.
So my clothes aren't actually brighter, right? But they look brighter to me.
Look brighter. Looks brighter.
So that explains it. There is one other category that is very popular, and I personally like it, which is the indoor drying. How does my laundry detergent that promises to make indoor drying better, how does it work?
If you dry your clothes in the indoor, usually the clothes dry very slowly. It may take overnight or 12 hours or 18 hours to dry your clothes. Then the problem is that in that long time, the bacteria that is residual in your clothes can multiply and replicate itself. It will also produce a byproduct, which is an acid. And that acid is the smell that doesn't smell very good. So the manufacturer will add a kind of a cationic surfactant. The cationic surfactant will kill the bacteria, so you will not have that malodor coming from the drying.
Armed with the insights from Professor Mary Chan, it's time for another test, this time in the marketing claims. I'm using 3 varieties each of liquid and powder detergents that have claims of being antibacterial, are most effective for indoor drying, and the ability to keep colors bright. I have got a towel here that has been used and left unwashed for a few days. I will cut this towel up into smaller pieces, leaving one piece as a control. Now the rest of the pieces I will be washing with these. I'll be washing all of that with this, a portable washing machine, so as to keep everything equal. sending all the samples to a lab to be tested for total bacterial count and color brightness. My results will be out in 2 weeks. I've sent 12 samples of washed clothes to a lab to see if detergents with special claims deliver on their promises. While I wait for the results, I'm delving into a type of detergent that's slowly gaining popularity. Eco-friendly detergents. The global market size for such a detergent is expected to grow by 30% to hit a whopping 70.5 billion Singapore dollars in 2027. Some of these eco-friendly detergents even claim to have no soap at all, like this laundry ball. Apparently, as it spins with your clothes, it creates a mechanical interaction that has a cleaning effect similar to hydrogen peroxide. There's also these, another form of no-soap laundry cleaners which contain magnesium that, when in contact with water, releases hydrogen bubbles and forms ionized alkaline water of pH 10.5. This is the same pH as most conventional powder laundry detergent. With some of these green detergents costing 2 to 3 times more than conventional ones, I wonder if they are just as effective or even better at cleaning our dirty laundry. Roy Key started his company in 2018 selling locally made eco-friendly detergents. What are the main differences between green detergents and conventional ones?
The major difference comes from the ingredient. The green version of laundry detergent mostly use a plant-based or plant-derived raw material ingredients. At the same time, it doesn't leave residue that will harm human skin, for example, those with sensitive skin or skin disorder.
Nowadays, there are non-soap detergents. For example, a laundry ball. Do these work?
I tried laundry ball before. It didn't work very well for me. I think to some people it actually works. It's the greenness of the green. It doesn't use detergent, it doesn't use any soap, so it can repeat and use it for, some of them claim to be 800 or 1,000 wash.
Since we're all about testing in this episode, why not do another one? But this time, I am using slightly unconventional washing agents. Laundry ball, plant-based liquid detergent, and this, no-detergent wash. I'm pitting these against regular detergent to see if these eco-washes are also able to remove bacteria just as effectively. I'm bringing these samples to the lab, at the same time collecting the results from my previous test. If you recall, I tested detergents with antibacterial, indoor drying and color brightening claims against normal detergents.
We tested for total plate count. Total plate count is a count which encompasses many different bacteria like mold, E. coli, your Staph aureus, which is commonly found on the skin. So Diana, let's zoom in on the results. For the antibacterial washes, they reduce by almost 100% of your bacterial count. But if you compare it between the liquid and the powder washes, there are insignificant differences between the two. So for example, your liquid antibacterial reduces by 99.99942%, but your powder antibacterial reduces it by 99.9999927%.
Okay.
So there's sort of like a 0.0005% difference between the two, which is insignificant.
Okay, yeah, it's insignificant. But what actually surprises me is the fact that even though regular detergent, they may not advertise it as antibacterial quality,
That's correct.
it in fact contains antibacterial quality within it.
Yes, correct.
What about the color brightening detergents? How did those perform?
So we tested on this purple color towel. The results were not conclusive enough. Maybe because of the color and the material of these towels, they couldn't effectively capture the chemical compound in them and sort of like show the color brightness.
So what you were saying is that at least on this color and on this fabric, you couldn't tell any difference
Yes.
in the color changes, whether the colors were optimized or not,
Yes,
were
correct.
brightened or not.
Yes, correct.
Would you know what kind of material or fabric and even colors will work better with the brightening detergents?
I reckon that this fabric is not very good at retaining the color brightening component because of how rough the material is. I think the materials good for color brightening detergents are maybe polyester or cotton. The indoor drying ones, we tested for the bacterial count as well. So in this table, you can see that the liquid and the powder indoor detergents, they remove it by 99.999% of the total bacterial count. So with a low bacterial count, there's a low chance for mold to grow. So there's a low chance for your fabrics to have a bad odor. However, the other washes also showed a low bacterial count.
Most detergents have lived up to their claims. Regular detergents are also just as good. Now, will the eco detergents perform just as well or better?
Let's zoom in at this bar chart over here. This is the bacteria that will still be present in your fabrics after you wash them.
As I wait for the results of my test on eco-friendly detergents, I'm turning my attention to how we do laundry. All my clothes have different washing labels requiring different temperatures. Now, if I were to sort them out and wash them according to the temperatures, it would take me a long time to complete my laundry. So I'm wondering, do I really have to follow all these washing instructions? Taking our laundry matters very seriously, I am heading to a design, retail and sustainability expert at the Singapore Fashion Council to help me decipher the washing labels on our fabrics. Labels on our clothes stipulate the temperature they should be washed at. Some say 40 degrees, 50 degrees, all the way to 95 degrees Celsius. Do I really have to follow these?
So these are the maximum temperatures that are suggested for the fabric wash. The rule of thumb is you can use 30 degrees or less.
Okay, so for example, this one, 30 degrees. It means 30 degrees maximum temperature.
Yes.
What happens if I decide to throw into my 60-degree load?
So chances are this may come out a little bit shrunken,
Oh,
or the fabric may be damaged in some way. So over a long period of time, I think the life of your garment will be shortened quite considerably.
I've always wondered, can I mix my kitchen towels, my bath towels together with the clothes that I wear?
Well, I advise you not to because of the cross-contamination that may happen. Bacteria is invisible, but let's use pencil shavings as an example, yeah? Assuming this is my rag cloth and I used to wipe, tomato spills, wine spills, whatever spills, right? Just wipe it. This is my bacteria, this is my germs, these are all the junk that's on the fabric. So imagine if I threw this in together with my other clothes I will wear in the wash. So as it's washing, it's agitating, right? So transference of bacteria and germs will go on to the somewhat cleaner garment, which you don't want, which is why we always encourage people to separate the linens. So you see now the germs have been transferred over to the somewhat cleaner garment, which is not what we want.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Yeah. Sure, my detergent will remove bacteria from my laundry, but if I'm particular about the transfer of germs from, say, food particles and dirt from my kitchen linen to my clothes, then I'd rather just separate my wash. Meanwhile, the test results of my soap-free laundry cleaners are out. How did the alternative laundry cleaners do compared to the normal detergent?
So the alternative laundry, they did pretty similar to your conventional detergents. The no-detergent washes, like your no-detergent wash and your laundry ball, they removed about 99.98% of your total bacteria, while your eco wash, it reduced about 99.998%. One thing that we could physically tell was the fragrance. So for your laundry ball and your no-detergent wash, there were no fragrance because there were no added additives inside.
Yes, sometimes when we don't think that the laundry smells good, we think that it hasn't been cleaned.
Yeah, correct.
In summary, what should we do to ensure that we get clean clothes?
The most important thing is to ensure that you use the correct amount of detergent to your laundry load, which usually is written on your packaging of the detergent. So another thing would be making sure your washing machine is actually clean. If you don't maintain it well, bacteria will form a sort of a biofilm which will latch onto your fabric even after washing. Just by frequent washing of your laundry, it doesn't mean that your washing machine is clean.
And that will compromise the effectiveness of my cleaning agents anyway.
Yes, correct.
Remember earlier, I put a camera into my washing machine? Well, as you can see, washing machines have many areas for bacteria to grow. And these bacteria build up with each use. And since there is so much contact, the bacteria might also end up on your clothes. Now that I know it's not just about washing my clothes, I'm going to make sure that I clean my washing machine too. Here's how to do it. Make sure you use one of these, a washing machine cleaner. Put the powder into the drum and then set the machine to run a cycle. Do this at least once a month and you will get clean clothes as well as a clean washing machine.